Aloha everyone. The market is still wedging higher. I was actually quite surprised that once again we were higher today, but all we have done is worked our way right into the resistance levels. If we reverse here on heavy volume, I will have no issue reinitiating short positions on an end of day basis. SDS and DXD hit final DXD, not really hit final sell stops, but SDS hit final sell stops basically, and SRTY and SMN were 50% sells on the end of day basis. DXD is another 50% sell actually on an end of day basis, not a full sell. But the bottom line is that even though those hedges are coming up because we're working higher, I won't even hesitate putting them back on if we reverse. Once again, we still have the early August and late July support levels acting as resistance, downtrending 50-200-day moving average on all of these indexes. So while it looks good short term, remember volume is still below average on the NYSE and NASDAQ, so it's just foolish to get super bullish here. That being said, everything that I touch and don't touch but flag continues to work. So I got a rash of long signals this evening, and I'm not going to pass on them. I'm going to start with the CanSlim quality ones. Genpact is producing a pocket pivot point signal as it breaks out of a weird long saucer with handle pattern, with a shakeout handle pattern in August. Pocket pivot point signal surge in BOP and volume was not confirmed anywhere else, but since long signals are working, I'll go ahead and increase it up to 2%, especially since I don't risk more than a few percentage points on the downside before I know I'm totally wrong. DOX is a stock I've been flagging a lot the past couple of weeks since we've made that low in 824. Looks like I have an actionable buy signal today with it bouncing right at the 50-day moving average. Small surge in BOP, surge in volume, slightly above average. Once again, don't risk much before I know that I'm completely wrong in the position. Let's say all hell breaks loose and before we finally get fully stopped out, the most we're going to risk is about 5% on DOX. So once again, 2% of the account capital in there. And then I got an ETF trend following signal in Ireland. EIRL, iShares Ireland capped. ETF, pocket pivot point signal, surge in volume, BOP back to max green BOP after that initial surge on the 10th. So excellent follow through, not back to back pocket pivot point signals, but two pocket pivot point signals in a matter of 5 sessions. Can't pass on that. 2%, because once again, we don't risk much before we know we're completely long, just a few percentage points. And then also, CanSlim quality side, PLPM giving an ad signal. This is just a regular ad signal, but it was also, unlike the others, G, DOX, and EIRL was in the price volume BOP scan first off. DOX and G were only in the CanSlim scan. PLPM is a CanSlim quality stock, even though it's low priced. And it was also confirmed in my green BOP for at least 20 days scan, and also confirmed in my price volume BOP scan. So that's a double, everything confirmed. So it's 0.5% on the ad signal since it's low price, 0.25 for the BOP scan, 0.25 for the price volume scan. So 1% long position in PLPM as we're adding to it. And then QUER, Cure, biotech stock, pocket pivot point signal, heavy volume bounce off the 50-day moving average. Once again, we don't risk much before we know that we're wrong. 1% of the account capital because this is completely speculative. This is a beautiful longer-term chart coming off those October lows if we go back way back here. So you can see big uptrend, shallow price decline during the most recent pullback, and now pocket pivot point signal. So we're good to go. And then also MMAC is giving another pocket pivot point signal buy signal. Volume was heavy again today, slightly below yesterday's levels. BOP, though, surged to a much higher green BOP level, getting near max green BOP again, and a back-to-back pocket pivot point signal. So thin stock, but I like it. Excellent chart pattern. This is going to be a 0.5% ad signal, which is the exact same ad signal. Why isn't it just 0.25%? Because basically combining these two, I get one strong signal. And if this was a uptrending big bull market, I might even go 2% on a stock that looks like this. But these are the kind of chart patterns I want to see keep creating and then working, even though it's only day one of it working so far. It's a minor start. Actually, I'm slightly down on the position because I would have been filled around 13.21 at the open. Now it's 13.19, so it's a tiny loss. But we don't risk much once again to know before we know that we're wrong. 3% on our first cut loss level, 5.5% on our second cut loss level. But overall, plenty of long positions and some of our shorts continue to get hit. So it's that kind of market. Not quite sure where we want to go from here, but a pullback on even lighter volume and light volume, and then an overall resumption of the uptrend above the 5,200-day moving average would be good. Remember, the VIX hit over 50 on 8/24, and the bulls and bears have crossed in the Investors Intelligence Survey for the first time in 4 years. So it is possible, which I'm shocked, but it's possible that 8/24 was a capitulation bottom. If that's the case, once again, the market has thrown us a complete curveball, as that is the weirdest looking capitulation bottom I've ever seen, because price finishing in the lower end of its range, with the Russell 2000 finishing near its lows basically, and the NASDAQ finishing well off its highs also. I don't know, man. It's pretty shocking that that's going to, be our lows, but it's quite possible it is. Keep an open mind.